So, here's a question for all you senior golfers out there. Do you really need to drop over $1,000 on a brand new set of irons to shoot lower scores? Or, just maybe, could a classic, proven set from a decade ago actually be the smarter move?
You know the feeling. We all see the ads for the latest, greatest technology that promises 5 more yards and unbelievable forgiveness. But you'd also probably rather spend that cash on more rounds of golf, right? So, where's the sweet spot between performance and price?
And here it is, the classic dilemma. On one hand, you've got the shiny new toy packed with all the latest buzzwords, and on the other, you've got a legend like the Taylormade R11. This is exactly what we're digging into today, that battle between cutting-edge cost and proven affordable performance.
All right, let's dive in. We're going to start by looking at why a classic set like these R11s isn't just some nostalgic choice, but why it's a genuinely smart, strategic move for a lot of players today.
So what's the real appeal here? Well, first, the price. They are incredibly cost-effective. We'll get to just how effective later. Second, they were absolutely packed with advanced technology for their time. Tech that honestly still really holds up. And third, they've got a proven track record. You don't need the newest club to break 90, you just need a good tool that actually works.
You know, the magic of the R11 is really in its design philosophy. It was made to be the best of both worlds. It's not a razor-thin blade that only a pro can hit, but it's also not one of those giant, clunky game improvement shovels that can feel a little clumsy. It hit that perfect sweet spot. It looks compact, but it's incredibly forgiving. Okay, so let's decode the technology that actually creates all that forgiveness. We're gonna get a little technical here, but I promise we'll keep it simple. How does this club actually save your shot when you don't hit it perfectly?
The star of the show, without a doubt, is Taylormade's inverted cone technology. Yeah, it sounds like a fancy marketing term, but all it really means is they figured out a way to make the sweet spot bigger. And as we all know, a bigger sweet spot is an amateur golfer's absolute best friend.
And for senior golfers, this is everything. As our swing speeds naturally start to slow down a bit, we just can't afford to lose 15 yards because we caught the ball a little bit towards the toe or heel. This tech helps keep that ball speed up across more of the face, and that saves you those crucial yards on your mishits.
And then there's the sole of the club, another clever little feature. It's wide enough to help you just glide through the turf instead of digging in, which is fantastic if you get a little steep on it sometimes, or you're playing on softer fairways. But it's not so chunky that it feels like you're trying to hit an iron that looks like a hybrid.
Okay, we've talked tech, the nuts and bolts. But we all know golf is a game played between the ears, right? It's a game of confidence. So let's talk about how the look, the feel, and even the sound of the R11 can help you make a better, more committed swing.
It really all starts when you're standing over the ball. When you look down, the R11 has a slightly thicker top line. It's not chunky at all, but it just frames the ball in a way that inspires confidence. It's like it's sending a little message to your brain saying, hey, don't worry, I got you. We're gonna get this ball in the air.
And then there's the sound and impact. The R11 gives you this really satisfying, solid thwack, not a high-pitched, tinny click. That sound is rewarding, it's great feedback on a good strike. And honestly, the vibration dampening is fantastic for an older club, which is a huge bonus if you've got a little arthritis in your hands or elbows.
All right, pay attention, because we are about to cover what might be the single most critical piece of advice in this entire explainer. The club heads are fantastic, but they are only half the story.
Okay, seriously, this is it. If you're gonna go find a used set of these irons, you absolutely, positively must pay attention to the shafts. If you get this part wrong, the whole purchase could be a big mistake.
So let's break this down real simple. On one side, you have steel shafts. They're heavier, they tend to produce a lower ball flight, and they send more vibration up into your hands. Now for most seniors, graphite is going to be the clear winner. It's lighter, which helps you swing a little faster. It helps get the ball up in the air. And it absorbs shock so much better.
So here it is, the key takeaway. If your driver's swing speed is under, say, 80 miles per hour, or if you're over 65, look for a set with graphite shafts, and you want either a senior M Flex or a regular R Flex. The difference in feel and performance is it's enormous.
And hey, a quick word of warning here. You're gonna see sets online for super cheap, and they'll have stiff flex steel shafts. Avoid them. For a moderate swing speed, trying to swing one of those is gonna feel like swinging a telephone pole. You won't be able to load the shaft properly, and you are just gonna lose a ton of distance.
All right, let's bring it all home. We've looked at the technology, the feel, the all-important shaft situation. So what's the final verdict on the Taylormade R11 irons for seniors?
Well, the verdict is in, and it's a resounding yes. You get the forgiveness we all need on our mishits, check. You get consistent, reliable distance, check. The design inspires confidence at address, check. And you get all of this at an absolutely killer price.
I mean, you can typically find a good, clean set of these irons for under $300. When you compare that to a new set that costs 4 or 5 times that much, the value is it's incredible. It's a no-brainer.
You know, it really makes you think, doesn't it? The R11 is proof that great design and great performance don't just have an expiration date. Which kind of leads us with a bigger question. What other so-called obsolete technology is still out there quietly outperforming the new, expensive alternative?